I know what you're thinking, John. There wasn't a demand for you to do more reaction videos, but I'm quite enjoying this sort of old school style of YouTube I've been doing at the moment, like turning on the camera and doing story times or rants or just talking about whatever comes into my mind. And obviously last week I did a reaction to some clips of Derek Okara, and when I was filming yesterday's video I mentioned some of my early YouTube videos, and I specifically mentioned my first ever YouTube video, and I mentioned that it wasn't that good in hindsight. That video isn't actually available on my channel anymore, for reasons that will become apparent, but what I thought I would do is react to my first ever YouTube video. Once again, I don't even really know if there's demand for this, but that's what I'm doing, so yeah. So I don't know how well you can see this, but my first ever video was called Top 5 Dyson Products I'd Like to Stick My Dick In. Very, very mature of me. And that came out on the 21st of October 2016. I can't believe it's that long ago. Now this video wasn't really an attempt for me to launch a YouTube career. It really came about just because I had a silly idea and I wanted to explore it. So I'd recently discovered YouTube, and one of my first ways in, I'm sure I've mentioned this a couple of times in a couple of other videos, was to watch like list videos. Specifically, they were like wrestling related list videos, you know, top 5 things you didn't know about this superstar, or top 5 moments in Power Rangers, or whatever it might have been. They were the videos that I was watching at the time, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if there was a parody of this style of video, if you listed silly things like the top 5 Dyson products I'd like to stick my dick in. It was just a crude, silly idea, and I just thought I'd make it for the fun of it. It was a fairly immature time. I would like to say it was a fairly immature time in my life. I think I'm still that immature. The reason it's now private, because that video did get sort of like 11,000 views, I think it was, which is a pretty good going for a first video, is because you can see, like, in the YouTube studio what people are searching to find your channel, and some of the things that people were searching and finding my channel on because of that video were just completely bizarre. And I had a moment where I realized this is probably not helping grow my channel, because it was one of my most popular videos for a while. So if you saw my new style of content and then that was the next video you were recommended, I'm not sure you'd have stuck around as a subscriber. And also, the people that were searching the terms that found them that video, I wasn't entirely sure that they were the subscribers I necessarily wanted. Now, to say this video is very rough and ready is understated. I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to show my face on camera because I knew that this was a silly idea. I had a job at the time. I didn't want people to know that I was making list videos about Dyson products I wanted to stick my dick in. So I went with another name at the time. I called myself The Boy John. I was still called John, but there's so many people called John, you wouldn't necessarily know it was me. I didn't want to show my face, and I didn't really have a good enough camera, to be completely honest with you, at the time to show my face. So I decided that I would just use images to illustrate what I was talking about, and I would record the audio separately, sort of just like a glorified PowerPoint presentation. But there was 2 problems with that, really. One, it took a long time to find all of the images to kind of demonstrate what I was saying, and 2, I didn't know the foggiest about recording audio or editing, so the audio sounds absolutely terrible. Right, I think we've just got to get into this, haven't we? Now, before we even start here, like, I've put the name of the channel on the front, which is just like completely bizarre. I guess I thought it was like an intro thing, but like, I've not even chosen fancy text or whatever, just The Boy John. Right, if I remember this correctly, the beginning audio peaks immediately. If you weren't going to click off already because of this crappy intro, this next thing would have made you click off.
Sir James Dyson.
You heard how much that peaked, sir, but it's like, sir.
Sir James Dyson.
I think I'm hoping that the audio on this video is at least a little bit better than that. Right, what do we need to know about Sir James Dyson?
A man of vision, a revolutionary and inventor of the bull barrow.
This is fun. When I was researching this, I discovered the bull barrow, James Dyson's original product. And you can see, like, that little ball is what then went on to make the Hoovers. Yeah, inventor of the bull barrow. What a good name as well, the bull barrow.
In 1983, Dyson brought out his first vacuum cleaner, but not before going through over 5,000 different prototypes. Today, the Dyson company is worth over $5 billion and produces nearly 60 products.
So the idea at this point was to try and make it sort of very factual. I thought the comedy of this would come from how seriously I was taking it. I would make this like a really well researched video. I'm going to go through James Dyson's credentials, but I'm also going to make it seem like I have really spent a lot of time researching for this ridiculous video. That was what I was going for. Now it seems like a really long intro. Knowing what I know now about YouTube, knowing what I know now about YouTube, I know that you got to sort of get to the point a bit quicker than this. But you know, I didn't really know what I was doing. This was really early days for me. This is the first thing I scripted and recorded. So,
and James Dyson currently lives here, and at present owns more land than the Queen. That's right, the fucking Queen.
The fucking Queen. I don't really know what I was attempting there. The fucking Queen. I think I was just trying to like highlight like how this was all stuff I was learning as I was researching it. I had no idea like how wealthy Dyson was. So yeah, I think I do refer to the Queen as the old bird on my money in the next bit, which is not a line I'm proud of.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I was Jimmy D and I lived in a gaff like that and had bragging rights over the old bird on my money...
Jimmy D, gaff like that, old bird on my money... Who the hell do I think I am? Like some sort of Cockney chimney sweep. What the hell am I going on about?
I'd have definitely taken one of the products that had gotten me to this stage to bed. I'm the boy John, and with the same amount of love and anguish that went into Dyson's first vacuum cleaner, here's a list of the top 5 Dyson products I'd like to stick my dick in.
And thus the premise is set. I was pretty proud of myself back then that I got the Dyson to be the Dyson logo on that background. That to me was the sort of height of sophistication in editing, because like I said, I didn't know anything. The idea that you have to sleep with whatever product makes you a lot of money is hilarious to me, though. I don't think Bill Gates took a computer to bed when he invented Windows, but you know, maybe he did.
Number 5, the Airblade. Don't we live in exciting times? A time where your mum has a better presence on Facebook than you, I don't have a job, and everyone has a favourite hand dryer.
I still don't really have a job. How depressing is that? This was made in 2016. I've had jobs since then, but not a lot has changed.
Now, normally I wouldn't put my dick into something with the word blade in its name, but I'm willing to make an exception for this bad boy. In 2006, Dyson changed the hand drying game by bringing out a hand dryer which used unheated air travelling at roughly 400 miles per hour to dry your hands in less than 10 seconds.
Look, you can see here that I'm not just telling you I want to put my dick into a Dyson Airblade, everyone's favourite hand dryer. I'm giving you the stats behind this. 400 miles an hour that air's coming out. Woohoo!
A far cry from the hand dryers that felt like a cat farting in your hands that we were used to.
I was well pleased with that sound effect of that cat there. I just want to get that there again. I was so pleased with that cat sound.
Like a cat farting in your hands that we were used to. Now imagine that. Air travelling at 400 miles per hour onto your knob to finish you off in less than 10 seconds.
I just want to go back there because this stone here, that stone is one that we found. That is my hand. That is a picture of a stone that Charlie and I found on the beach. And yes, I was immature enough to take a picture of it.
Your knob to finish you off in less than 10 seconds. How could the Airblade not have made this list? To be honest with you, the only reason that this beast isn't higher in the first place is because of the impracticalities of it, as you can only really find them in public bathrooms, and they aren't exactly at the best angle for someone with a boner.
I mean, I stand by that. You know, they would, the Dyson Airblade, I think, would normally feature higher on most people's lists. I mean, if we're being completely honest, but yeah, I think, you know, they're in public bathrooms, and if you got a boner, they don't point downwards. This is just science here.
But rest assured, if the opportunity to stick my dick in an Airblade ever presents itself, I'll be grabbing the opportunity with both hands.
I forgot
Number
about the images
4,
I used.
The Pure Cool. I didn't think I'd ever find myself saying I want to stick my manhood in a fan, but once again...
I mean, that was bold of me, wasn't it? To use that, to use a picture of the gherkin as a symbol of my manhood. The arrogance of me, I can guarantee you that is not accurate.
Manhood in a fan, but once again, Dyson has managed to find an exception with the bladeless Pure Cool. Now, not only does this product use air multiplier technology to bombard your little general with a hurricane of cool air, but it also doubles up as an air purifier that uses a 360-degree glass HEPA filter.
I've just realised something. I now own one of these things. Hang on. This is now possible for me, and it's only just dawned on me now that I've actually got one of these things. Unfortunately, we don't have a Dyson Airblade in our bathroom, but we bought that because Charlie gets hay fever, and it does a really good job of purifying the air. But I completely missed the opportunity here to use this bad boy. What a mistake, what a mistake.
That can capture up to 99.95% of pollutants and bacteria, which Lord knows my dick
Grounded
needs.
in science.
This product will set you back an eye-watering 450 quid, but given that it removes all the pollen from the air, that's the only thing that will be making your eyes water.
Hey,
furthermore, you can download an app for the fan, which means you can control your dick inserting it.
That picture there, that was a secret Santa gift I got when I was at the Independent, the Penis Pokey. You'll never know if I used it or not.
Experience with your phone. Perfect. Number 3, the 360 vacuum. You are fucking a robot. Number 2.
I think I thought then that was like the rule of 3, you know. So I had 2 which I did like a really big explanation on, and then on the third one I was just like, and you're fucking a robot. I think also I'd probably got bored of scripting at that point.
The Supersonic Hairdryer. Although this might be the least originally named product on the list, it's also the one that looks the most like a sex toy.
I mean, we can go on about Pokemon that look or sound like sex toys, but come on now. What was going on there?
I mean, it's got a convenient handle, a hole for little Johnny to slip into, and would be right at home in your mum's knicker drawer.
I'm so... Like, I know my mum will end up watching this. I'm just embarrassed now by this script. That you can see why this video is now private. I thought I was being funny.
Now, a lot of you might be looking at the Supersonic and thinking, John, that looks a bit snug to me, and that might be true for you, but I assure you that this isn't a problem for me. So what's not to love? It's sleek, transportable, and even though it costs £300, it's perversely one of the cheapest items on this list. Just please, 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 dear God, remember to put it on low heat before you use it. And last but not least, number 1.
I mean, before we get into number 1, unfortunately, we don't own one of these either, or the robot. You know, the only thing we own so far is the air purifier, so I've not really been able to live out my dreams, my 2016 dreams.
The DC50. Call me boring, call me old-fashioned, but personally, I like to think of myself as a Renaissance man, and the humble vacuum cleaner is a classic. And let's be honest, Nunu is the hottest appliance on TV.
That's not even funny, is it? I mean, that's just not even funny.
Now, as mentioned in the intro, Jimmy spent 5 years making over 5,000 prototypes for his first vacuum cleaner back in 1983. So imagine the sucking perfection he's been able to achieve in the 30 plus years since. Now, his idea of using cyclonic separation means that his vacuum...
Cyclonic separation. You can see how seriously I was taking it, but also look at that picture. I don't think I've really fully appreciated until now just how much those bad boys can suck.
Cleaners don't lose suction, and the DC50 has 19 cyclones. Quite simply, there isn't a better appliance to put your dick in. And the best thing about the DC50 is that I have one and can use it any time I want. So
that wasn't even true. I just thought that was a funny way to end the video. I'm still wearing that watch though. I'm still wearing that watch.
That's all I have time for, so please like, share and subscribe, and if you don't, I'm going to come round your house and stick my dick in your toaster.
I think my mum or someone walked in whilst I was taking a photo of a banana in a toaster, because a lot of the time I didn't actually have the images I wanted to illustrate what I was saying, so I was trying to I didn't really do a job of explaining what it was. I was just like, oh yeah, it's just a funny picture. I didn't explain I was doing a video about Dyson products I'd like to stick my dick in.
I'm the boy John, and I'll catch you next time.
And I'm not even the boy John anymore. That Twitter handle doesn't work anymore. So there you have it, my first foray into YouTube. A video which isn't online anymore. I suppose it is now in the form of this video. You can see why it didn't make it. I still think like there's some merit to the comedy or the joke. It probably just doesn't need to be 4 minutes long. The joke is made pretty much just in the title. But, you know, the title was there and I made the video afterwards. It was the classic, like, reverse engineering of a video, which people say you should do now. It's one of the things I should do more. But, yeah, I was apparently doing that right at the beginning. So there you have it. There is my first ever YouTube video. It's embarrassing, but we got to share this moment together. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I assume this is actually a bonus video because it's not me talking when I usually do that over there. But yes, I will see you tomorrow in some form, I imagine. But yeah, don't be a dick.